Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode on the Xisuminati server. This will be attempt number 3 at making this episode. I've just not had any luck at all. Everything just keeps going wrong. First time it was video, second time it was audio. What'll go wrong this time? Yeah. So, I do have some clips from what I intended episode 8 to be. And it was a whole bunch of fun and we did a whole bunch of stuff, and yeah, the audio was no good. It was complete garbage. My computer decided, rather than using the headset that it's been using forever, that video, it would start recording with my webcam, which was tucked behind one of my monitors, and yeah, it wasn't very good at all. So, since the house is done, since my house over there is done, I need to clean up this monstrosity and, you know, the other stuff. I mean, this thing is crazy. It needs to get cleaned up. I want to get the yard cleaned up so that I can start working on more organized projects here. Things like the sieve setups, they'll go in the basement of the house. So I'm going to see what kind of compilation of time lapses I can salvage from those clips to at least show you what we did last episode while I clean this up. And I'll see ya after it's done. So, pretty cool time lapse, eh? Yeah. unfortunately, like I said, it's really best I can do. It's a conglomeration of footage. It was never designed for a time lapse. You know, there's lots of poking at the air, poke, 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 and you know, there was a lot of talking. There was a lot of explaining. Unfortunately, with what happened, it's kind of the best I can do. You really don't want the old audio. So, open sesame. Cleaned up the yard. Whoa, look at that. And over here is what I built. It's fully functional. It's finished, and you know, I can't exactly just, oh well, episode's no good, let's tear it up, yep, destroy it all, and go again. No. So here it is in its finished state. Little AFK area right on top of it, protected by this ineffable glass. It's thickened glass surrounded by a unstable ingot. The thickened glass is pretty easy. It's just the sandy glass, sand and glass, and smelt it. And that's what this is, because it's nearly invisible. So you can just walk right through it. Hold shift can't. Monsters can't. You know, whole storage system. Got a system to turn on the fans. There's open block fans surrounding the pit. You might have seen in the video, if you go down there, I do have a it pushes you to the middle, and you just kind of do this you do this glitchy wind tunnel, and it kind of centers you. So that's pretty cool. The other switch then is for the lights. Wow. And instant spawns. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's effective. I don't need it on right now, so we're going to turn it off. Make sure they're all dead, and then turn the fan off. Got plenty of drops, been AFKing, let it run, testing it out, making sure it's actually working. Yeah, this will supply the mob drops and the experience. I've got Ender Tank right here, which is connected down there, so it's a little bit of a redundant distance to be so short, but that's not its final spot. That's just where it is right now. And yeah, it trashes anything it doesn't use. All of the drawers are with void upgrades. Sure, that's pretty cool. Because I've really, like, I mean, you know, if I were to fill this thing up with, you know, 4 emerald upgrades, it could hold something like 130,000 items. Do you really need that much string and spider eyes and stuff like that? No. So I'm gonna leave it at 2 emeralds and then void. Alrighty. Well, let's get to the point of this episode now. It was originally to build that mob farm, but ta-da! It was built through the magic of time lapses and, well, crappy audio choices on my computer's part. So what we need to do is something that's been needing to be done for a while. Ever since I moved these machines in here and, you know, trying to use them, I've been running off a battery. You know, this guy, he's pretty low. He charges my hammer. He needs power. So we need to be accommodating. And these guys, well, we can take out the crafting benches, I guess. Don't need them at this very moment. These guys, it's very easy to do because of the way this place is set up. There's no item input or output. None at all. It's all just, you know, manually used machines. So that's pretty cool. So actually we don't need those 2 pieces right there, because what will go there is these guys. Transfer node and transfer node. And if we take a skip outside and take your tool and go a schmacka, power, add all the upgrades, yay, tons and tons and tons of RF. So now all these guys should get power. See, nice and full. I can charge my hammer again. And, you know, I can use all these guys. So that's pretty cool. And, you know, to cover that kind of stuff up, we take the handy dandy saw. And we make a whole bunch of covers. We just kind of do that and that. And, you know, just make it look pretty. Make it look like nothing's there. Whoopsies. You do not belong. You go somewhere else. You know, just stick a bunch of covers everywhere. I might need more covers at this rate. And then this guy, you won't see it anyway because of the crafting benches. Oh, we need to cover the front. And see, ta-da! You can't tell. Now, of course, if we go outside, still more covers. But oh, looks like we're going to need to make more. How many more? 1, 2, 3, 4. What isn't that just PJ? Because these things make 8. But that is okay. There we go. Now we just got a couple of solar panels sticking out the side of my building. And it's got power. Let me into my own house. So that's pretty snazzy. And really, really simple. Put those in there. Those in there and those in there. Ah. Quick project done. That was not the focus of this episode. I mean, it was on the to-do list, but it was not the only thing to do. The other thing to do is adjust myself in my chair, if you heard that. The other thing to do is down here. See, because we've now, you know, we're cleaning up the yard, we've gotten rid of the sieve setup, you know, we're starting to get some out structures and stuff like that. It's time to move the sieves indoors. Well, they need a place down here. Now, I'm only going to be building a small setup. When you run them at 64 speed with 64 fortune, you don't really need more than one sieve. So I figure I'll set one for gravel, one for dust. Those are the most important ones. They're the ones that give you your ore, your diamonds, your emeralds, your redstone, your glowstone, all the fun stuff that we use in bucket loads. Other than that, there's going to be things like, well, smooth stone, because that can give you marble and limestone and the berry bushes. Sand will give you some ores as well as a bunch of seeds. Dirt gives you a bunch of seeds. Soul sand will give you quartz. That's a nice one. So I might, you know, have a setup for that like I had out there. You know, but it's all going to be automated. So I'm going to have to work on a design for that. But we kind of need to get this room going. It really has been a while, to me at least. Hey, come on. There we go. Since I dug this out, and then... Ah, crap. Get down there. Since I dug this place out, and I haven't touched it. Like, I haven't done anything with it. It's just been sitting here, collecting dust and random drawers full of materials. So, I think I'm going to dig this place out. It's gonna look all pretty once I'm done with it. And we'll figure out a spot to put the sieve set up. And I think we're going to get gravel going, because if you come up here and look, I'm like almost out of emeralds. And diamonds I still got a lot of, but you can never have too many diamonds. And I can't remember what else gravel gives you that's unique. Lapis, that's another one. Lapis, tons of. It's emeralds I'm mostly after, just because I've been making all these emerald upgrades, and I'm kind of running out. So, we're going to worry about getting at least one sieve set up today. But I don't really want to set it up and then not have it in its final place. Here, let me get this room dug out. Let me get some design ideas in place. And I'll come back and let you see what it looks like. Alrighty, here it is. Here's my little design so far. So I've got a couple of things in place. We've got the sieves down. I was giving it a bit of a test. I was kind of hoping that when it had stuff in it, it would give out a redstone signal, but it doesn't. Oh well. We've got the compactor up here, the auto packager guy. He's pretty fun. Yeah, this will be my look. It'll have glass over the whole thing, and it's going to be this clear stuff. There you go. Oh. Take it from that angle, and it's just gives it a lighter sheen. And here you'll be able to access the gravel, and I'll stick some there. Gravel, sand, and dust. So that's pretty cool. What I'm wanting to do is have some kind of overflow protection, as well as an on-off switch. Now, because this is going to be behind glass, I don't want to sit there and go, break the glass, come in, redstone off. Okay? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll have these guys at this setting. For those of you who are new to this, that means that the machine will not work unless it is receiving a redstone signal, and a high-powered one at that. So I can have like a torch right here, or a couple of torches, because I'm going to have two of them, and if those torches are not turned on, like if I've got another sort, whatever, I mean, if you know basic redstone, you know how to turn torches off, then these machines are not going to work, and they'll turn themselves off. I don't know if these guys, the sieves, respond to redstone. So we might just have to deal with cutting off their supply. What I'm going to have is there is this guy, the Ender Collector. It's really cheap. It's just some obsidian, ender fused obsidian, and ender pearls. And when you stick it on top of an inventory, if I have a spare chest lying around, which of course, for the sake of demonstration, I do not. So let's just grab this one. And if I stick it on top and I throw an item at it, poof, it grabs it and sticks it in the chest. Now, what I plan to do then is, right back in here. Oh, you can go on the side. Oh, okay, cool. It'll sit right there, and you can increase its range. And it'll be in range to grab anything that comes out of these sieves. So if the sieves happen to overflow, it'll get triggered. And then what I can do, since I can't put a comparator on the sieve itself, I can put a comparator on the chest underneath this collector, and as soon as it gets a redstone signal, kill the system. Because obviously there's been an overflow. And that is something that we need to worry about. Because it seems to happen a lot on this server. And I know a lot of it is just ignorance. It's, it's not people doing it on purpose. It's just they don't know about these mods yet. But the problem is that then you know, they're building these Civ setups because, let's face it, these are awesome. Ex Astris, grade A mod for those people who don't really want to go mining all the time for everything. So it's pretty cool to have this option. And, you know, it takes some setup, and it, you know, it's got a good learning curve to it to get it right. And, you know, yes, it is also then somewhat the mod author's doing, because, you know what, really, why does your mod have to just throw the items into the world when it's overfilled? Just stop production. Thermal expansion, this stuff's full, full stop. Everything stops processing. These guys, nah, let's keep going, pushing it into the world. They've got to know that's a lag machine. So hopefully that gets changed at some point. But in the meantime, we've got to build stuff that works with what we've got. And what we've got is a system that can overflow. You know, this chest fills up because my storage upstairs can't take anymore, because one ingot was just, that's it, no more room. There's no applied energistics, there's no just, here's 50,000 items for, you know, infinitely expandable storage. We've got this. This stuff fills up, you know, you got to put more upgrades in, or consider not having so much of that item. And as I was saying earlier, do you really need 130,000 plus? Because I've filled those drawers when they have 4 emerald upgrades in them. And that's 130-some thousand objects. You don't need that much. You really don't. So, shut your systems down. Have a failsafe. Have a backup. Do something. Now, in the meantime, my little rant aside, see, and this is why. Look at that. You see that lag? Guess what that's caused by? The server has been having TPS issues, which is ticks per second, from my understanding at least. I could be wrong. But it's been having issues forever. And it goes through its daily resets, and, you know, it's good for a bit, but every now and then someone's Civ overflows. And it's not good. But anyway, what I'm doing here, quick and simple, output Civ into that guy. We're going to need to give this thing some stack upgrades, and we're probably going to need to give them, I'd say, 6 speed upgrades each. It's not too much, but hopefully it's going to be fast enough. No, that's still not emptying fast enough. What we might need to do is either have more speed or not do this roundabout pipe. I'm just doing that right now because I don't know where the rest of the piping is going to go just yet. The problem is that these sieves with 64 speed upgrades, like, done. And I don't want it to back up where this guy can't find the inventory fast enough, and then you've got an overflow, not because your storage is full, but because your pipes aren't fast enough, because rather than take a direct route up, you decided to take a squiggly route. So we'll see how it works. It will be interesting. And the piping of this will be crazy, and I'm not going to finish it all today, but I want to get something, at least for gravel setup, like I was saying. So, if we grab our little drawer key, because this will be the gravel drawer, we want to lock it and make sure it stays that way, because as soon as I attach a transfer node to it, it will start moving items. First of all, actually, I guess we need to manufacture the 3 basics: the gravel, the sand, and the dust. Well, that's going to be done with these pulverizers in the wall. And we might actually do that with retrieval nodes with filters on them, obviously. Yes, there we go. Retrieval nodes. Just so that they're not going crazy trying to pick up everything. So you, cobblestone. That's it. That's all you're going to pick up. You, same thing. Pick up cobblestone. So these top ones will do cobblestone. Insert through the back. And insert through the back. And what they'll do then is they send that cobblestone, or the cobblestone will turn into gravel, obviously. The gravel will then get stored in the system, as well as moved into the bottom one, where it will get turned into sand. And this bottom one, where it will get turned into dust. Or, no, I'm doing this wrong. These two are going to be the gravel ones, right? Because this side is gravel. Whoops, falling down the hole. This side is gravel. So those two will make gravel. They'll feed this guy, and they'll also feed the drawer. Pulling from the drawer, these two will turn the gravel into sand, into dust, and then into here, and any excess will get stored in the drawers. There we go. So we only need to worry about this side right now. These guys, no problemo. So back here a bit, we're going to have to do the ever classic water and lava. Of course, I don't have any lava on me, so we will need to go get some. Okay, I'm not perfect at this, but I've improved this thing. So, originally I'd had these transfer nodes on the back, right? The retrieval nodes? Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. It needs to come from this guy, the cobblegen. Well, you can't have a transfer node going into a retrieval node. It just doesn't work like that. So instead what I have is these filter pipes with the yellow one set to cobblestone. So it'll go in there. And just cobblestone. Perfect. It's got items pulling out the side. Up here, so that we're only getting what we want up here, I've got the red filter saying inverted, which means none of this stuff. No cobblestone, no gravel, no sand, and no dust. So all that stuff, all it can do is go down. Well, it can't go in there, can't go in there, can't go there, can't go there. Only place it can go, right into the drawer controller. So here we've got gravel, sand, and dust. Well, from here now, thanks to the magic of how the drawer controllers work, it can be an input and an output. So this retrieval node here, it's sucking all the gravel out and putting it in here. So that's pretty cool. I'll have one for dust right there. I mean, heck, I could set it up right now. It's really easy. You take a filter, you take the item you want, you stick the filter in it, put the item back in the drawer, and then we take a retrieval node, slap it on there, and stick the dust one in there. And look, dust. Ta-da! And of course, you know, it's going to run out of juice or lag. Yeah, these things don't have power at the moment. They're running off of battery. Hey. Ugh. I tell you, the latency right now, not so great. But there we go. We got a piece of bone meal. That's from dust. Okay, get in there. Are you going to stay? Whatever. So back here is where the power input's going to be. I'm probably going to start working towards quantum flux, just because it has a great wireless energy system. And, we're starting to build underground. Solar's no longer really an option. Don't want to go back to lava. We're going QED. Not QED. That's that thing over there. Quantum flux, RF entangler. That's what it's called. But this right here, this battery is going to be part of our failsafe. I don't know how to make these transfer nodes respond to energy or to redstone, like how to turn off. And with all the piping required, I can't really fit redstone dust and all that stuff here. So what I'm going to do is right simple. We have the chest sticking, right about there. The little guy on top of it. Or maybe it's going to stick there. I don't know where I'll put it. It'll be able to reach both the sieves wherever I put it. And it'll have a redstone signal that will run right into this guy. And basically, this cannot run without a redstone signal, because thanks to being thermal expansion, it's got the redstone control tab. Well, I've got it set that it needs a high input. So if I were to turn this switch on, if the server would let me. Oh, come on. There we go. Suddenly, the machines click to life. Turn it off. Sad machines, no power. And basically what I'll have is, so long as that comparator is powered, which means the system has not caught up with itself yet, this machine will be off. And thus, I will have a system that cannot overflow. Yay! Well, as stated, we've got the gravel running. If I turn this thing on, which I just did, you saw it runs. Look, it's taking the cobble, it's making a whole bunch of gravel. There's even some storing up there. It does take a little bit for these guys to find this thing. This is just because there's no speed upgrades in them. But I will be adding that later. In the meantime, that'll about do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy. I know it's not the best format for an episode to have, weird time-lapse like that. I think it's weird. Maybe you guys will like it. I don't know. But to me, I guess maybe it's just more my disappointment. I was really upset that happened. And, yeah, it's just footage, it's just a game, etc. But you know what? I mean, I'm putting a fair amount of hours into these. This takes me a long time to sit here, come up with these ideas, fix the problems, and then I'm recording, I'm editing, and to get all the way to the editing stage, and you start like, what happened to my audio? Like, why did it go so bad? And yeah, so hopefully it's a decent enough salvage job. Hopefully you like what we're doing here. What we're doing here with the Sieve setup, isn't it cool? I think it's pretty cool. We're also gonna have a button, a button right over there or somewhere, where I can just click it, and it will override the whole system and turn the battery off. Because let's face it, we don't always need the system running. So yeah, I'm gonna get more work done. Hopefully I explained it well enough. Hopefully you guys understand it. And hopefully, if you guys are playing on this server, if you are Xisuminati players, please consider adopting a failsafe like I'm doing. It's not that hard. If you need help, contact me. Leave me a comment or message me next time you see me on the server. I can come over and look at your setup and help you out. I don't mind. I like helping people out. I like getting out there and chatting and showing people how to do stuff. It's not a bad thing that you don't know how. Someone's got to teach you, or you have to figure it out yourself. If you like my setup, if you like this idea of having a battery and using these collectors, then copy it. By all means. Please do, because the server will thank you. Because it's these overflows. It's killing the server. There's so many of us. We're sitting here and going, oh, every single day, every second day, somebody's sieve overflows. And it pours entities into the world. And my first designs at this, they didn't have this. This is my first design out of maybe 3 or 4 different iterations that will actually have overflow protection like this. That would truly be able to turn itself off the moment it overflows, rather than 10 minutes later when the damage is done. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Enough of me being all grumpy and people who overflow their sieves. I'm here to help. Come and ask. Anyway, if you liked the episode, give me the likes. Hit that like button. Hit it now. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you like. What you don't like. You think this is coming along good? Let me know it's going good. And most important thing of all, come back for next episode. Bye.